camps. I'm not going to run with bona fide documents and phone numbers and internal emails because they told me it didn't exist. Oh, they're announcing world government in Europe. Well, I better not criticize it because it didn't exist. I was told so. So NDAA didn't affect citizens. Obama was against it when it came out. It did affect citizens. And then we can play you the clips of Lindsey Graham, Carl Levin, McCain, all the senators saying, yeah, it affects citizens. And Obama asked us to do it. Those videos are up in our article right now. I just played one of them. This is the level of deception. This is a criminal group. People are always, I hear them on talk radio, I wish the government wasn't so dumb and would fix things. While they think raising taxes will help, all the studies show it'll destroy the economy. They know that. The mega corporations are exempt. They write the loopholes. They're offshore. They know they're screwing it up. They know. They know. They're premeditated. They're bad. Oh, man. Look at this. White House okays military detention of terrorism suspects, including U.S. citizens. CBS News. Here's another one. London Guardian, military given go-ahead to detain U.S. terrorist suspects without trial. Civil rights group dismayed as Barack Obama abandons commitment to veto new security law contained in defense bill. Flip-flopper. Obama will not veto detention bill. Of course he won't. He was the one that had it added. You just heard the senators. Here's another article explaining to a 5-year-old why the indefinite detention bill applies to U.S. citizens on U.S. soil. Yeah, you got to tell your kids, if you're a political activist or writer, the government's going bad. It happens in history sometimes. Like in Nazi Germany and Russia. I've had to have this talk with my son, and you got to understand, your daddy could be arrested. They could say horrible things about me. You need to know that stuff's not true. You know I'm a good moral person. My son's like, yes, Dad, I know you are. You have to understand they could kill me, too. And they could come after you. I'm going to be honest with you. You're 9 years old at the time you know this. He goes, I understand. I've read history. I'm glad we're fighting the evil no matter what happens. And he hugs me. Got more courage than most 50-year-old men. And you people out there that think if you live in denial, this isn't all going to happen, you're going to have everything taken. Your farms, your ranches, everything. I mean, they are going to bring in hardcore tyranny. They want to fully butcher this nation. They want to fully re-educate it. They want to bring everybody to their knees. Predator drones attacking checkpoints, hellish control freak tough guys that love hunting U.S. citizens released, foreign mercs, all of it. And they are all enemies when they engage in this. They are foreign occupiers by the bankers. We're not fighting governments now. We're fighting mega banks that come to shut down governments. I am heartened, though. People are supporting us. We're getting the word out. I want to close by saying, if you want to really wake people up, another good way to do it and support our operation, refuel our tanks in the info war, is to get all 18 of my films on DVD. So you can give out 18 different gifts. And if you order by Sunday night, it'll be all shipped out Monday, guaranteed delivery in the U.S. All 18 of my powerful films, 70% off, $99.95, or only 360 Federal Reserve notes at Infowars.com. Truth is stranger than fiction. A lot of things are cliches because they're so true. Another one is an old Chinese proverb, may you live in interesting times. We certainly do. That's a two-sided. Opportunity can also mean danger. Another Chinese proverb, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And I started my journey 19 years ago on air, almost 17 years ago. And I've seen what good people can do when they take action and stop overanalyzing things. By that, I mean overanalyzing ourselves. So many activists think they got to have everything just right. And the system sells it like being an activist is weird or exceptional. Like civil libertarians are concerned about secret arrest of citizens. Oh, just civil libertarians, the people that are into liberty. I mean, who needs a government that can't secretly arrest you and throw you in a dungeon for no reason? I mean, that's post-Roman Empire and Dark Ages. No law, but law of the establishment. That's pre-Magna Carta. I mean, the most virulent, fire-breathing, stinking form of corruption that you could even describe. And I've got the voting numbers here. It was a massive majority. It wasn't 93-7 like the House, like the Senate voted for the NDAA, secret arrest, secret torture, secret killings, throw away the key, whatever, throw away the skeleton legislation. The House voted for the National Defense Authorization Act, 283 to 136. And a bunch of traitorous Republicans and Democrats voted for it. Wow. And all these liberals are like, wow, Obama said he was going to veto that. Now he signed it. But they're like, at least he said he was thinking about it. Behind the scenes, his lawyers are like, make sure we can arrest anybody we want. I mean, when I look at him and Michelle Obama on TV, or I see photos or images of them on Infowars.com during the break, I mean, they're just out there reading off teleprompters, conning everybody, and the troops are all standing around them, well-meaning good people, working for this incredible tyrant who himself is just a minion. And I just think about it. It's like a Red Dawn scenario, but the terrorists, the criminals, the admitted scammers stealing just trillions of dollars. I mean, that energy company getting $500 million payoff is nothing. And you think about it, we've really got criminals in charge. And they've sold torture as sexy and cool and secret arrest and all the movies. And large portions of the public are dumbed down, immoral. They laugh and giggle and have it like a coat of infallibility around them that they don't care and laugh at anyone that talks about freedom. They think it's cute, some of the general public, to just be moronic. And the system looks at you, a big, fat, stupid sheep, and they're big old vicious wolves just salivating with acid. And they're just chomping into you every day. You watch your neighbor drug off, or your neighbor's kids taken, or the IRS takes your neighbor's house, or even your own house. You just roll over and, I guess I did something wrong. I drove up to a checkpoint. I see people just groveling to police like some beaten dog you rescue. And every time you try to pet it, it rolls over and starts urinating on itself, just groveling. I mean, that's America. It's like some stray dog that's been beaten for half its life, and then you get it, a nice person, you're trying to feed it and take care of it, and it just rolls over and urinates on itself. You ever seen a dog do that? It means, I'm fully submitting, don't kill me. That should be on the American flag, is a dog lying on its back, totally submitting, in a pool of you-know-what. I'm serious. I mean, is that who we want to be? No one in history, modern history, ever put it on paper what they're doing. The North Koreans don't even do that. They just do it. That's because they want to go to the cops, the military, and say, look, it's on paper. It's on paper. You can't put tyranny on a paper and make it legal. Paul Watson, in his article that's linked up at drudgereport.com, on the right-hand side, points out a sickening factoid that I had not noticed. Indefinite detention bill heads to Obama's desk as White House drops veto threat. Establishment media and neocons still pretend NDAA doesn't apply to American citizens, even though we have all the major senators that sponsored it, Levin, McCain, and Graham admitting it does. Well, I don't need them to admit it does. It's right there in the stinking bill. That's how deceptive they are. One section says it doesn't affect you, but then it says it does. That's how they always work. They're a bunch of stinking lawyers. Now, what's hidden in there? Today, this is the day, and Obama's saying they may robo-sign it, which has been found to be unconstitutional. Everything he does must be unconstitutional. Must be unkosher constitutionally, because they're overthrowing it under the precept of law that might makes right, that possession is 9/10 of the law, and that custom is law. We are being accustomed to usurpations, to swarms of bureaucrats eating out our substance, to the TSA laying their hands upon us. We're being broken. We're being drugged through the corruption. We're being acclimated. We're being conditioned. We're being cowed. The House voted last night. Obama is set to sign it today. 222nd anniversary of the Bill of Rights that came years after the country was set up because people were like, the government's violating our rights and manipulating this Constitution. We want it purely stated that the government's bound down by these 10 amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Right of religion, free press, right to defend yourself, right to due process, right not to incriminate yourself, right to states' rights, right to all rights not enumerated in the Constitution, Article 9, all of it. So here we are, 222 years after a Bill of Rights was ratified, which was a big deal and hard to get and hard fought for. There was almost another revolution over it. 222 years later, on Bill of Rights Day, they are going to surpass North Korea on paper. Now, that's one thing to implement it. And, you know, they're gonna say, we secretly arrested this guy that was an American citizen planning to blow up police stations. It'll be some Muslim guy. But then after a few of those to set the precedent, as they've already started to do, it's going to be the good old boy wearing the John Deere hat. And that's what the entire training is for. As evidenced by the New York Times, where it shows Explorer Scouts. I had the Austin police chief in there last week, and I said, you know, all over the country, Explorer Scouts are training to take on returning veterans and kill them. And he said, come on, Alex, I started Explorer Scouts in Austin. That's not happening. And I went, really? Pull up the New York Times, and they pulled it up. Scouts trained to fight terrorists. First line, they train going into the building. The disgruntled Iraq war vet's armed. They take him out. And then it shows, and I'm all over the country. You know, I used to get emails by scout leaders going, that's not true. Don't badmouth the scouts. I'm not bad-mouthing the Scouts. It's been a good organization, very wholesome for a long time. It's being taken over. That's like if I said, don't leave that dog in here. It'll go to the bathroom on your expensive Oriental rug that's worth $10,000. You're like, don't talk bad about my rug. I'm like, no, don't let the dog go to the bathroom on it. That's the I mean, as long as I'm using the animal potty humor to illustrate things, that's basically what's going on here. And these scout leaders would say, that's not going on. Or yeah, we're trying to take on extremists, but what's wrong with that? How dare you attack the Scouts? I remember 6 years ago, the first headlines, Girl Scouts trained to spot terrorists. In fact, go ahead and search engine that. I'll put it up. MSNBC, CBS. And we got the manuals, and it's what's in Mommy and Daddy's medicine cabinet. What's that plant growing in your neighbor's yard? I mean, in this country, little kids trained to spy. And I had the Austin police chief in here, and I'm like, I got video of ads that ran on TV and that are shown to kids in school about getting government money cards that put $200 on it when you turn family members in. And our day's is like, I don't know about that. Yeah, you don't know about anything, do you? If you think living in denial is going to protect you, well, then whatever. But I didn't need to see 5 years ago MSNBC with the headline, Girl Scouts trained to fight terror or trained to spot terrorists. Because I had the Hebron, Maryland 1998 footage shot by our listeners, hours of it, in Hebron, Maryland, of Marines running around the city with Boy Scouts for gun confiscation and interviews with locals. And when they find out they've gotten the interviews, they had the Boy Scouts go tattle on them, and the Marines walk over with machine guns. Not just M16s, but heavier ones with belts on them, and swing the guns around with the police and say, give us your camera, turn it off. And then they go ahead and detain them, and then they explain, this is America, we're allowed to film this.